as you can see, there's snow on the mountains. This isn't a very good view. This is what we call in Alaska termination dust. It's a measurement of how long until snow is upon us. It's on the tops of the mountains now. As you can see, it's very fall in my backyard. It's falling all over the place. Alright. Am I in here? Yeah. I have a bunch of videos coming up for you guys, but I just wanted to talk really quickly about things that are coming up. I'm literally, right now, it's in the food processor, working on my raw vegan bread recipe that I'm going to have for sale soon. It's amazing and awesome. I cracked the code on making a thick, chewy, very bread tasting, but no gross bread ingredients, raw vegan bread, and I'm very excited about it. Right now I'm working on the unification issue, the quantities issue, the cost issue, all the things that are going to make it possible to bring it to market. And I'm just 2 weeks away from doing like something I'm very excited about. I said that sentence weird because I was thinking ahead of myself. Really what I'm going to do is scratch about 10 things off my bucket list. The number one being swimming with dolphins. And some other things that just happen to go with that. I got a passport for the first time in my life. I'm 42. I am leaving the country for the first time in my life. I'm gonna see tons of animals and birds and insects that I've never seen in real life, and if you know anything about me, you know I'm an insect fanatic. I'm a bird fanatic. I freaking love monkeys, and I'm going to a place that is covered in monkeys, and it's Costa Rica. I'm very excited. It was just this special flight deal that came up from Alaska Airlines, and I couldn't believe how cheap it was. It was cheaper than going to Florida, which I've been really, like, in the last 5 years, I've been like really trying to figure out how I can do this swimming with dolphin things, because it's something that I really want to do before I die, if I die. And you know, it's like, well, it's not something I'm going to be able to do in Alaska. I'm 42 years old, I'm not getting any younger, and there's just some things I want to do before my time might be up here on Earth. And also, you know, there's other possibilities for the timeline, which is that people could start to awaken in larger quantities, and then we could get together and raise the energy of the planet and not really have to die. That's another option. But just in case those things don't happen, because I am, you know, feeling the age in my body. I do have some critical issues that happened to me when I was younger that I still have been, you know, wondering if they're solvable at this point in my evolution. I might have to come back around for another spin, that's fine. But really what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is, well, I have tons of videos to catch up on. The things that you guys ask for me to do videos on, I know I feel like such an ass because I have not been motivated lately. And it's not, you know, that I don't have still inspired things to say or do. It's that my life has been consumed with the, you know, my life has been consumed by, I don't want to say making money, because money is just like a stepping stone for what my life is consumed with, but most people would be pretty lucky and happy to have my lifestyle, but it is a lot of work. I make a living playing poker, but it's hard work, you know. That's a whole nother video. Oh my gosh, my Jay just showed up. Hi Jay. This is my stellar Jay. I made a video about this mated pair that come visit. There's another one in the trees, so I'm assuming that's the mate. Hi! What great timing you have. Coming to interrupt my video? Almost rather just film you than do the video I was gonna do. Oh my gosh, here's the other one right next to me. Oh, where'd you go? Ah, it won't focus. Hello. This is my mated pair of stellar jays. They've been visiting all summer. I made a video just about them. Look how cute you are. They're gonna take some food and take off. Usually is what they do. Focus. It's focusing on your background. Come on, focus on my bird. There you are. Look how cute you are. Two of my favorite birds. Heckle and Jekyll. Let's see if we can... Let me see if I can have them in the background of the video. This was just plum luck. Alright, so I'm going to Costa Rica, making a bread recipe. Oh yeah, okay. Veganism and why? Of course my neighbors are working on their cars. They have basically a garage over there in the backyard. Why vegan? What is, like, why is it so important for the awakening of humanity to realize that eating animals is not just killing us physically, but also spiritually? It's an issue. Because here's why. This is a video that someone asked me to make like 6 months ago probably. That's just, oh, that's what I was telling you. I make a living playing poker, but it consumes my life, and so you know, it's a stepping stone for me to get to doing what I want to do. They're really hanging out. But it's very demanding on my time, and so I end up, you know, doing other stuff. There they go, bye-bye. I end up doing, you know, the things that I need to do as a mother and as a I don't know, just the business aspect of what I do is very demanding. And then when there's downtime, it's not that I'm not motivated to do the positive things I always want to spend my life doing. It's just that I need that time to literally just like zone out and sort of recuperate. I do still have lots of awesome plans in the works. Hopefully next year we'll have an Alaskan retreat if I am able to get enough people interested. That's something I hope to work on throughout the winter, is increasing my reach. It's frustrating though, because I know things that I can do to increase my reach, and as soon as I start to see it happening, the trolls creep in and they make me frustrated, and I'm still learning how to deal with that. I mean, honestly, thank God I didn't get famous when I was younger. I would have been a total wreck. At this point in my life, I don't even really aspire to that because of the realization of what comes with it. Like, can you imagine? I would have been like Lindsay Lohan and Paris Hilton and Britney Spears and all those people rolled up in a ball. I don't know if I'd be alive today if I had been a young rock star, famous rock star. So I focus on the positive things that I want to do but don't have time to do. I'm just like sort of accruing this list of things that I'm gonna do when I move out of this phase of my life. So veganism. The thing is, I'm not one of those vegans who goes around telling people, you know, you're an asshole, or you're this or that, or you're not good enough, or you're not spiritually awakened. I don't think or say those things to people. I understand the mindset, though. I'm never going to be the person who goes and takes a bucket of tar and dumps it on your fur jacket. I'm just going to be the person who's sad because I understand the level of confusion that exists on the planet that allows this to exist. And it's sad. It's disheartening. And so I think one of the reasons that vegans are so angry sometimes, not all of us, but some of the what they call militant vegans, I guess, they just know at this deep level that like such intense suffering is going on because of I was going to say a society, but literally a species that has been brainwashed to accept it. And it's really not okay. It's really the same as murdering a person. Murdering an animal is really the same. And when you realize that, you can't eat animals anymore. You just can't. You can't use them for commerce. You can't think of them as anything other than another sentient being. And because I realize I spent, at this point still, the greater majority of my life eating meat and being confused, I don't, or I at least try not to harbor resentment towards people, and I don't think it's effective to come at people in that way. I do think, and I do this, I said do, I share videos that help you to understand the process. And the reason why people aren't awakening at a faster rate is because their bodies are literally filled with corpse, negative energy. And here's the topic that was asked for me to expand on because of all the old videos that I shut down my old channel on. It's full circle to the trolls. I hate you. Just kidding, I love you. The thing is that there's a spiritual explanation and there's literally a scientific physicality explanation. When you eat an animal, you absorb the fear energy that happened during its death, because nothing wants to die. Nothing. Not even the parasites that are living in your body affecting the way that you think. Those things don't want to die either. That's why it's so uncomfortable to try to get rid of them. There's an energy that comes out and it floods the body. And that's, the spiritual explanation. But the scientific explanation is that they release the hormone cortisol. Their body is literally flooded with cortisol. And when you eat meat, you eat that. And it's the energetic resonance of fear. And so we're always at this level of fear if we're eating animals. When you start eating raw food, and I can't say that this happens being a vegan because I was vegan for several years and I was in an evolutionary state. I was awakening. I was awakening before that. I think you're led throughout your life to awaken at the level that you're ready for. And one of the next levels, I've said this before, this isn't like I'm better than you because I don't eat animals, or I'm at a higher level than you. It's the same as going to school. Like, you're in kindergarten, and then you go to first grade, and then you go to second grade, and you build on everything that you learn. A kindergartner isn't less than a sixth grader. They're equal. They're just at different levels. So I don't ever think of myself as better or above anyone because I don't eat animals. I just know that I've reached a level of understanding that doesn't allow me to eat them anymore. And people like me know that everything is sort of happening as it's supposed to. You know, eventually these things just won't exist anymore. They just won't. And the people who are at this level already are on the cutting edge. There's never a crowd on the edge. That's what they say. There's never a crowd on the leading edge. Because it's scary. You're going to fall off sometimes, or you're going to get, you know, vertigo or whatever. It's just like, it's hard. It's a really hard time to be awake. And I'm not saying I'm enlightened. I'm just saying I'm awake enough to know that most people are sleeping. I have a long way to go. I have less farther to go than the kindergartner, but it's still a long way in the grand scheme of things. We're all evolving, and we never stop evolving. We just keep going, and at some point, when the planet is critical mass more vegan than less vegan, it will just start to snuff out. So I don't feel like I need to go, you know, knock on your door and tell you why you should be vegan, or that only 50,000 vegans are going to be allowed into heaven, or I'm not going to go, you know, show up out in public and tar your fur jacket. I'm not going to make fun of you because you're, you know, not realized in that area. But what sucks is getting made fun of. And it's by, you know, somewhat well-meaning people. They think they're being funny. But what they're actually doing is covering up this deep internal knowingness that what they're doing is wrong and what they're doing is not okay. So, yeah, a lot of vegans are assholes because it sucks getting made fun of all the time when you know you're right. What do they call the 3 steps of truth? First is ridicule, I think. Second is I don't remember. Never mind. The last step is obviously, oh yeah, of course, duh. But it's always, the first step is ridicule. We make fun of things that we think aren't true because they haven't yet congealed in our understanding, because we've been brainwashed from the time we were born that this is acceptable and that this is the way to be. But it's not. The way to be is as least... I'm making terrible sentences here. I'm just pointing that out because of being an English major, but back in the day. The least impact that we can have is the best way to be. And the first step is not hurting things, especially living beings, you know? And then we move up to caring more about our own well-being. That's recognizing ourselves as something to take care of, and then that's where raw veganism comes in. And then that's where the spiritual awakening like shoots off, because all these layers of confusion and dumbed downness and brainwashing just start to fall away as the toxicity just slowly comes out of your body. And I highly recommend it. I really think it's the only way to save this place. I mean, it can go on for a limited amount of time, and we can just trudge through like we don't know what we're doing, which is what we've been doing for hundreds of years. Or we can be proactive in our own awakening process and start by not eating animals. And then, you know, maybe we'll stop making fun of people who are waking up. I don't know. These are just some thoughts. Yeah, just because you stop eating animals doesn't mean you instantly, you know, become enlightened or totally, no longer feel normal emotions, I can be quite the biatch, you know, in certain occasions and situations. But it really does increase your quality of life. It increases your understanding. And wouldn't you rather be aware than confused? All I know is, like, my life isn't a ton easier than it was when I was confused. But it's good to know what the problems were, what the issues were, what was causing all the emotional turmoil, the toxicity in the food that we eat, and the drugs and alcohol and all the shit that we consume. When you take those out of the equation, things change, and I think it's for the better. I have a lot more videos to catch up on, so I'm going to start doing that soon, I promise. But I gotta get back to my bread now and poker. And that's what I've been doing. And I'll talk to you guys later.